morning, my financial friends. What's up, my financial friends? It's Sam here. How are you doing? Today I'm coming at you with a budgeting video. So I know everyone's favorite thing to do, budget. I actually really like budgeting because I came up with a system that really works for me, and it allows me not to have to really worry whether I'm going to have enough money, and it also helps me cut down on my debt too, which is awesome. So I'm going to take you through today how I came up with it. It keeps track of everything that you spend, and it also allows you to really cut down on that debt. The categories include college loans, which you can put in a mortgage payment or credit card payment or anything like that you want to. Um, your emergency fund, your expenses like gas or soap, stuff like that. Maybe food. Um, Basically stuff that you need to get, but it's not really, they're not big items. They're just like week to week items that you need. The next thing is like your savings, your short-term savings. So I have a couple family members and a girlfriend, so this is really for gifts. Because you have Mother's Day, Father's Day, both birthdays for them, sister's birthday, Christmas, so there are three more presents, girlfriend's birthday, Valentine's Day, Christmas for her. So, there are 10 things, 10, 12, 15 things each year that you have to get for presents. So, that's that category. The next one's like fun stuff, like food and drinks and going out on dates, stuff like that. The next one is long-term savings. So every 3 months you have to get an oil change. You have to get new tires, stuff like that, kind of more big ticket items that you're saving for there. And then I also have donations on this list because I think it is important to kind of get outside your own head sometimes, help society. I think that it's easy to live in a state of not having enough and believe that you can't really contribute. But I think whenever you spend, you really get that good feeling and makes you realize that there's more that you can do, and you do make enough money to support yourself for sure. And then I also have something called my slush fund, and I'll go into that more later. But basically, everything that I make outside of my 9 to 5 job, I put 10% of it in this slush fund as kind of a reward for doing the work originally, and then the rest goes to my loans. So this ensures that, the bulk of my money is still going towards loans, but this gives me a little wiggle room so I I stay motivated to continue making money on the side instead of just never seeing it again. Which, of course, you would think you would stay motivated because you're paying off loans, but I'm not sure that will be the case here in a couple of years. Um, One thing that you will notice about my budget is that I don't have rent or a mortgage. I moved back home with my parents after school 4 or 5 months ago, and I plan on being here for a while until I pay off more loans. So that's really nice. I also don't have to pay for food, but you guys could add that again into the expenses budget if you have that. So let's flip over to the budget here. I just have Google Docs open. You could do this on Excel. I did it on Excel for a while, but basically, this is how I started. I have my categories here on the left. Then I have the principal amount that I put in there. So at the beginning of the year or the summer, I decided how much I wanted to put in each category to start, and then I moved on from there. But let's go down the line to like this week. Every 2 weeks, I put in this amount, and I've changed this amount a couple times just to try to fine tune it more. So from August 24 to September 7, I spent $0 of my emergency fund. I put $40.5 from expenses in there, and then $10 for fun, and then everything else stayed. And then I added it to the previous week's amount there. So $5 from 1060 equals 1065. Then I have the total at the bottom. So as you can see, I have gone from $1,800 at the beginning to next week it'll be about 3,300. After I get paid, I just put in this amount, so I'll have all this filled out except for this. Everything else in this budget goes towards my loans. So I went from here $2,750 to $3,050 basically, and I made over $1,000. Everything but this $300 here I put towards my loans. So that's how this budget works so well. You write down the stuff that you really need, and then you cut out everything else, and then all your excess goes towards loans. So this way you don't run into the it's my paycheck, and those shoes look really nice, I'm gonna spend $150. You can still do that because you have that money here, but that way you don't consistently do something that's bad for your budget. Another great thing about this budget is since you have this emergency fund, even after 4 months, I'm only putting $5 in every 2 weeks. So it's not growing that much. But the great thing is, with all these other categories, it gives you a lot more padding than you would think. So I have just over $1,000 in my emergency fund, but I'm not spending $60 on fun each week. So I have leftover money that contributes to this buffer. So while I don't have $3,000 in my emergency fund, I can pull from these other categories if something were to come up and I had to pay $3,000 or something, I would have that. It also allows you, if you have a side job or if you're selling stuff on the side, it allows you to do with your money what you want a little bit, because you have 10% that you get to fool around with. So I have $850. I've made $8,500 since the beginning of the summer. I haven't used the slush fund, I don't think, for anything. Maybe I spent a couple dollars one day, but it shows you how much you've made then outside of your job, which is very nice, I think. I am planning on doing something with this money. I'm not sure yet. Again, I've only been working for 4 months or so. So I have a Roth IRA. I have obviously a lot more student loans. I have some other stuff that I could put this money into, and I haven't really decided yet what I want to do with it. But for now it's just giving me a little bit of extra padding until maybe I get $3,000 outside, like in these other categories. Yeah, for now it's just sitting there to make sure that if something comes up and I want to spend, $800 on something, I could do that and not feel bad about it. Another thing that's nice about budgeting is that it allows you to feel better when you do spend money. You're not worried like, oh, I spent $50 at TJ Maxx this weekend, because you've already set this money aside. It's gone as soon as you put it in here. Just think of it as like it's not bad to use anymore, because you prioritized everything else. You prioritized your loans, your payments, and now this is your reward. You can spend it how you like. Another important thing here is my checkbook. So around the same time that I started the weekly expenses, I started this. So I have different identifiers just to make it a little bit easier for myself. I have the date, I have the description of what happened, and then I have whether it was a debit or a credit. Then I have the amount that would be in my banking accounts. I have 2 banking accounts. And then I also have the amount overall that I own or that I control, which includes cash. So I keep, $100, $200 in cash just in case I need it. Then the rest is in my bank account. So this allows me to just record if I have any discrepancies in what I think I spent and what I did spend. I can look here, It also allows me to keep, closer track of where I should be. This should match up um, pretty closely with this, and then the rest of the money I put towards my loans. So again, this just helps me. I'm planning on every 3 months doing a little breakdown like this, which is how much I earned, how much I spent on things that aren't like fun things, um, which I forget exactly what I included in there, but I think it's my college loans, my expenses, short-term savings, long-term savings, uh, stock, stuff like that. So then I broke down, in my other video, you can see I broke down my different sources of income. So this just shows that, 95% of what I earned is going to something that is not this, um, which I think is important because all these other things are worthwhile things. I think it's definitely important to have fun, and to have that kind of money in your budget. But right now, I'm just trying to crush these loans, so that's priority number one. And then this shows that 64% of what I made went towards loans. This would be higher, but I had, $2,000 for a car issue with my transmission. I also had, um, to build up this budget in the beginning. I Here I had an opportunity to invest $10,000 in something that um, made pretty good money. So, but down here you can see that I I had to start from somewhere. I started with eventually $10,000 came out of this, so I basically started with $79, and I built this up through all this other stuff. Um, so yeah, almost everything was the beginning of how I built up my account, that one car payment, and then loans. And then I kept the rest of my money just for my budget. Budgeting isn't for everyone, how I laid it out, but I wanted to make it very clear how I was going to spend my money, and also make myself feel better when I do spend money, that it's there. It also takes a little bit more effort than some people probably want, but I also have the Google Slides app on my phone, so I can do it from my phone if I'm out and about. I don't have to worry about um, like writing everything down anymore. I used to do that, and then I'd all input it at once, but that gets annoying because you have 20 things to put in here. So I just do it every time I buy something. I throw it in there, and it takes a minute. I might move towards Mint in the future. I hooked up some accounts, but I just haven't really wanted to sit down and hook up credit cards and debit cards and look up passwords for different accounts and retirement accounts and stuff like that. But I just wanted to show you this. Hopefully it helps you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave in the comments. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you guys want, I will put up a template for this in the description. Just let me know, and I can go back through and edit it. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.